So, Hatha Yoga. So Hatha Yoga, if we break the word Hatha Yoga down, it means Ha and Ta, okay, which is Hakaram and Takaram. Now the Hakaram and the Takaram essentially are Sanskrit words for the sun and the moon. And Hatha Yoga is concerned with the unifying of the sun and the moon. That's what it means, Hatha Yoga, sun and moon yoga. Okay, it's concerned with unifying opposites. Okay, now this is really, really important because, and I hope you're not falling asleep, because this is really important when it comes to Mula Bandha. Okay, and I'll make this all make sense in a minute. Okay, so it's about the unifying and linking of opposites, because when you bring opposites together rather than having them apart, when they press together, they become brighter. Both of them become brighter, and they play together, and suddenly things begin to open up. So, most of us exist in a life which is separated. We see this and that. We see black and white. We see right and wrong. We see good and bad. Okay, and this isn't, I'm not suggesting that is good or bad, but most of the people who experience this are not experiencing a great deal of happiness, because they see as much bad as they might do good. Now, the yoga practice is about saying that there is good within bad and bad within good, and that good and bad are just arbitrary concepts based on where you are, so that they're subjective, okay? And the more that we can see that those two energies are subjective, the more we bring them together and realise that, you know, we can see a good person, in inverted commas, and say they're wonderful, they're amazing, and somebody else will meet that person and consider them to be inappropriate or bad, okay? So there is always good within bad and bad within good, every time, underlined. Doesn't matter how bad somebody is or how bad circumstances, there's always good within it. And so when they come together, these things, we begin to feel balance. Okay? When we're too far over here or too far over here, there's no balance going on. So we bring these energies together, we press them together. Now, in the body, this is represented through the energy system. So, are all you familiar with Ujjayi Pranayama? Does that make, yeah? So, no, she's shaking her head. Okay, so the Ujjayi Pranayama is the breath that we use as we flow through the yoga practices. Okay, so if you're not sure about it, I might get somebody to give you a quick overview on it before we start, because it's going to be quite important that we, we'll see what happens. Okay, so the Ujjayi Pranayama is the lifting in the back of the throat. Ujjayi means victory or victorious. But the word pranayama is really the word that I want to focus on. So prana and pranayama, two words, okay? Meaning, and prana is the substratum of energy that exists within the body, okay? So the body has an energy system. And the energy system of the body extends outwards right to the ends of every toes, into every single internal organ, right up into the brain, it goes everywhere. If you ever have acupuncture, when they put the needles in, they're putting them into these little channels, these little energy pathways to begin to open them up. Okay, and it's one of the reasons why acupuncture can be so beneficial for healing people without the use of Western medicine. So in the yoga tradition, we see energy running through the body, as we call that prana. Okay, and we see prana as being the substratum, or almost the carrier of consciousness. Okay? So that when you bring your attention into a certain area, like we did today with the psoas, you immediately draw consciousness and prana into that area. Just by being aware of it, you draw more energy into that area. And when you draw more energy into that area, it begins to clear out the pathways of energy. Because in the yoga tradition, we have these things called nadis. And the nadis are like the carriers of the prana. Okay, and the carriers of the prana, in many cases, are blocked. Okay, and then the samskaras, the numbness that has come about as a result of the pathways of energy becoming blocked and stuck. Okay, just like a river shriveling up, and there's nothing flowing through it. And if there's nothing flowing through it, then essentially that area is actually beginning to die within the body. Okay, which is what the origin of disease is.